there, planner friends, and welcome to a new Plan With Me / catch up / let's talk about the 2020 Hobonichi Weeks. Why not? Because it's almost that season. It's almost the magical September 1st, where all of the Hobonichi items will be available. And that would be August 31st for those in North America. So here we have it. My tried and true, my constant companion for 2019, my Hobonichi Weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have noticed that I've cycled through a couple of different planners this year, specifically during the summer. I tried an A5 for my work / professional development, and while I did like it, it couldn't beat my Hobonichi Weeks. Because in tandem with a laptop, my laptop, the one that I finally upgraded to last semester, truly these are the best things together to get work done, even if it is rating or something like that. So my A5 is kind of in hibernation. I feel like things might change in 2020 when I finally settle into my student teaching. Maybe I'll need something on a larger scale. Who knows? I certainly don't know, and I can't plan for the unknown. As much as I would love to, as much as we would love to as planner people, there are just some things that you can't rush. And that's one of them. And I certainly wanted to rush to get to a pinnacle of professionalism that I haven't earned the right or attained yet. So that's what inspired the A5, I think. The only other planner that I introduced in 2019 during the summer was my pocket planner, this little guy. And this was perfect because there was about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, where I didn't want to do any forward planning. I didn't want to do anything work related. I just wanted to have a summer. And to me, that involved getting things done, but very day to day. I just wanted to focus on that day. And I did so with the aid of some dailies. Haha. And these are fantastic. I really liked the configuration of these. These are printable. I printed them on Tomaway River paper, and I'll list below the awesome store that I purchased the file from. During the summer, I think we all have a desire to kind of slim down our planners, to maybe only carry what's necessary. And for me, what was necessary wasn't my laptop and my planner and all of that stuff. It was truly just a wallet and a place to make notes. So this was the guy. But school is back in session, and I am fully back in my Hobonichi Weeks. I never really left, though. I am kind of in between covers at the moment. I kind of fell out of love with my Foxy Fix. I still have it, and it was still on my notebook up until 3 days ago, but it was just very heavy, and it's not as convenient as I would like it to be for the heft and the weight of it. I feel like I'd like more pockets, like maybe my Filofax Malden, or I would if they made a Filofax Malden that would fit the Hobonichi Weeks, I would be in love. But I don't have that option just yet. So I slimmed it down a little bit, and I decided to carry only what was necessary, and that meant a shift to just the cover on cover. My husband made me realize that you could take the page lifter that's back here that this little pocket is designed for, and this is just the A6 Weeks one. I had this left over from 2018 or something, and while it is supposed to hold your page, so you can easily open up, sorry, I was on that page a lot, I guess, so you could easily open up to the page that you need the most. You can also use it as a handy dandy closure. And for where I put this in my messenger bag, this is all the closure I need, I guess, for the moment. And it's pretty sturdy, even with as chunkified as this guy is. And I really like the ease of just one smooth hand motion. Either put it in front, put it behind, and that is all. It sounds really weird, but just having to have two hands in order to unwrap the Foxy Fix cover, sometimes that's like one hand too many. I don't know. I'm just getting really picky and ornery, but here we are. Like I said, I never left because the most utilized section of my Hobonichi Weeks will be my monthlies. I did decide to create little tiny tabs out of some post-it tabs just to denote the months, because even though I do use the bookmarks, sometimes I want to refer back to a month that isn't necessarily marked, or I want to focus on a month that hasn't even happened yet, and it'd be kind of nice to know where I am. I've gone ahead and I've changed things from past semesters, whereas I only used to kind of document, let's see, so April, I was in class all April, and despite that fact, you don't actually see a schedule here. The only schedule you see that's being like highlighted and marked off is my work schedule. Well, school now is work for me, so I figure I should put that down too. So this semester is really weird. I only have one class per day, and these are my colors for the semester. So I've already put them in there, and as it occurs, I will just mark it off with a highlighter, just like I would my work shifts. So let me show you this week. Pow-pow. This is what we're dealing with. It's my tried and true kind of spread. It's the one that I use when I have assignments and tasks that I need to get done for specific classes. And that's what I'm going to try and replicate over here, but decorate it differently. I was looking at the new 2020 Hobonichis, and there was like a twinge or like a longing I have to get one of those Hobonichi covers, like one of those zip around covers, either the Mina Peroin, I think, or the Liberty London fabric covers. I nearly purchased the aviation themed one last year, even though I am not like a super huge fan of aviation, or of even that like 70s-ish print. That was like a 70s-ish interpretation of like a turn of the century print. Very weird time in design. But despite that, I was really close to getting it because I really like the pockets. Because I feel like I should be using it as a wallet, since it is my go-to, my everyday carry. And I liked having the zipper, but man, if they could just throw in that big back pocket of like a Malden, I'd be in heaven. But they didn't release any awesome designs. At least I didn't, not for me. They didn't release anything that really spoke to me. They released a very blue, teal, Liberty London pattern, and then they released a Mina Peroin needlework sort of case that kind of appeals to me but really doesn't, not enough for how much it costs. I was also kind of hoping that maybe in 2020 they would introduce more beautifully sort of patterned Hobonichi covers, because the Mega Weeks, which is the one I prefer, because it has 200 pages of note space, and that, just to give you an idea, if you're kind of waffling between the two, that's how much note space you get in a week's. It's basically half the planner. And I definitely recommend it, especially if you are a bullet journaler who's looking for a little bit more structure. This might be a good idea, because that's certainly who I am. A bullet journaler who's sick of drawing weekly spreads, but still likes to get creative with some randomness. I track my sleep sometimes. I generally track my finances every month. I kind of stopped tracking my sleep because I wasn't doing anything with the data, and especially now that school has started again, there's not really much I can do. This isn't super creative, but this is an example of sometimes we just need space to like scroll out and make dirty, not nice looking notes, and this was the space that I did that. I wanted to swatch the washi from the Simply Gilded box, and I also wanted to work out what Hobonichi things I wanted to buy for 2020. Going for the shell pink, which is an odd choice for me. I like all colors generally. I'm not a super huge fan of blue, but I really thought I was going to get that green once I saw it for the Hobonichi Weeks in 2020, but I fell in love with the cover on cover for 2020, and it just does not look good. It clashes in a way that I just can't get over. I mean, this cover on cover clashes with the yellow and the gold. They don't look so great together, but I loved this pairing for 2019. Something about the red and the green, so the red of the cover on cover for next year and the green of the beautiful like olivey army green Hobonichi Weeks. It just makes me mad, so I have to stay away from that. But it looks beautiful with the shell pink, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I also lost a couple of my, or just one of my Hobonichi Weeks stencils. I have one still, and this is the longer one, and I do use it mainly to draw spreads and stuff like that. But I really liked the blue one for ripping washi tape because it had like a scalloped edge and it made the washi look awesome. I'm getting a new pencil board because I use my pencil board. It's to draw spreads mainly, or to just separate pages if I do draw something out that's really inky and doesn't have time to dry or something like that. Then I do break it up with this. What else do I have on here? The leather clip, the leather pen clip. That's a maybe. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to use it in 2020, whether or not I'm just going to keep it with the cover on cover. I mean, me unfurling this pencil or pen holder, this has only happened within the last 2 days that I've gone ballsy enough to do so. Maybe I should consider that. I'm not quite sure about those see-through dot stickers, but I do think I'm going to get the memo set again. And I'm definitely going to get the perforation cutter that someone recommended way back when I complained about the Weeks notebooks, the ones that you can buy as accessories, because just like the A6, just like the A5, they have Hobonichi paper, Tomoe River paper slim notebooks that correspond to the size of your planner and just like slip in. I liked using that for my A6 because they came perforated, and my A6 is my journal, and when I wasn't with my journal but I still wanted to journal, it's much easier to bring one of those slim notebooks than it is to bring my journal. And the same idea I think applies here, except I'm thinking next year for my clinical and stuff like that, that I want to devote like actual notebooks to a certain thing because they're very slim and they don't have very many pages. I think they would be a good tool to kind of like write what's happening in the moment and then reflect on it later. At least that's what I'm thinking. So that is my list for 2020. I'm interested to hear what you guys might think about for your 2020 Hobonichi. But if you're still considering whether or not you want to get the Hobonichi Weeks Mega like this is, or the cute patterned ones, because the penguin one is just adorable. If you're considering like the standard Hobonichi Weeks, let me give you an idea of what 64 pages of blank note paper looks like. Okay, so you'll have a similar note thing. It says note after the end of the month. And I have some school stuff on there still. Okay, so this is the note pages that you have available at your disposal with a standard. If you are far more curated in your collection, or just use it for like tear out notes or something like that, I think you can get by with this. Or if you are the sort of person who can get everything done in just a weekly and a monthly, then this will be enough for you. But for me, this was in March. We were still in March here. So I definitely need to get the Mega, no matter how cute those darn penguins are on that cover, which I think is the winter cover of the season. So I hope that little roundabout was kind of helpful in helping you decide. But really, you don't necessarily need a Mega Weeks, especially if you get more creative with this blank side of the page. If you have a vision for how you're going to use it, then you can probably get away with just a standard. I don't have that much creativity when it comes to this side of the page. I kind of like my structure and routine in this area, and my routine is consistently drawing these boxes to designate the day of the week, so it goes across horizontal. So I know this is Thursday, I know this is Friday, Saturday, so on, and the class. So again, I have it split up by color, and this is basically what will carry me through the rest of the semester. And this is what we're going to work on here. Yeah, I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use this Le Pen. So one thing I have messed around with that is new is the thing that's currently getting in the way. It's this pen. It is gorgeous, beautiful, orangey brown. It is a friction erasable pen. Now, it came pre-installed with 0.5, but in here I have 0.3. So I have black, I think this is forest green maybe, and a beautiful milky pink color. And I know I've also posted a very rudimentary video on friction pens in the past on this channel. Basically that I disliked it very much. It felt like a necessity at the time because of the class I was taking, but I didn't like it because it did that like railing sort of thing where it happens a lot with ballpoint pens where you lay down a line and ink just like scoots to either side. I also didn't like the erasing mechanic of it because I felt like it didn't leave the paper in a great condition, or in great condition, but this slimmer nib size has really changed the game for me. So that's what has given me the kind of freedom, or it has given me the go-ahead to go ahead and like plan out my month with my classes as well as my work schedule. And I only have half of my work schedule right now, but I know that I can easily erase it if I need to, or if circumstances change or something like that, and then I can write back on it. And to me, this is far more pleasing to the eye than pencil was. I don't think she's as active on Instagram as she has been in the past, but if you follow her, you can see her litany of examples. The vegan organizer, she uses a lot of Hobonichis. I think she primarily uses a cousin, so the big A5 one, and she used pencil in that. I think it might have been her work planner, and it looked gorgeous because she stuck with pencil. I like pens, and so pencil doesn't look so gorgeous to me. But erasable pen, that does look pretty, especially the much thinner size. This is 0.38. Honestly, it kind of looks like a 0.5, but that's fine with me. I like it. I like it a lot. I also swatched the colors I have back here. Are you here? Yeah. So these are all of the erasable colors that I got. I was just testing them out because I was just amazed that they were available at this nib size. So yeah, I have the emerald green currently. Oh, I guess it's the purple and the black right now. But I really like all of these colors. The honey yellow might be difficult to read though, but I look forward to swapping out the colors as they come and go. There's really no rhyme or reason to the ones I picked right now. The only color coding I'm doing is with these guys. So let's move that over here. Let's use this little pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, nothing's really changed with this system. Oh no. Nothing's really changed at all. It's still wonky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should be able to do this in my head like an adult, but why risk it? I'm not super enthused with the gift for 2020. I am intrigued by the color of the pen. I think this bright lipstick red is a good idea, especially after having such light colors for the past few years. 3, 4, 5. I counted and I still had to count again. I think that's why most people usually speed through. Okay. Another thing I did this summer while I was in my pocket planner and just living day to day or with an eye on the present was I organized all of my washi. So this is just one drawer. This is the washi container that's at Michael's. I think if you get it for 60% off, it's like $12. And to me that was kind of insane because I don't like buying storage, but it's worth it. It's really, really much nicer than any of the other ways I was storing washi before. And I think I want to use calming, sort of dusty colors, like this. Maybe this. Kind of like these dusky, purpley, mauve colors. Okay for now, let's say. Okay. So let me lay down the colors really quick, or actually, let me segment the days. I probably don't need to do this, and if I had the time, or if I didn't have the time, this would probably be one of the first steps to go. I don't necessarily need this line to help me separate the days. It just it helps. It's nice. So are you guys still using the same planner you started the year with? I'd be very curious to hear about that. I think it's so difficult when planners or notebooks is your designated hobby. In one way, it's like saying your life is your hobby. In another way, it's truly the love of stationery. For me, I think it's half and half. And I think I'm just starting to recognize that. I've been striving to kind of cut down my paper consumption in the areas I can, like academically or professionally. Just using far more online journal articles or using my laptop to make notes on them rather than lugging around a notebook everywhere like a typical A4 sized one. Or rather, I'm using my laptop more than lugging around an A5 or an A4 sized notebook. So that means I have to live out all of my stationery love in the area where it counts, and that could be here. That's here. Okay, so we're gonna lay down some washi. We're gonna try I really miss my serrated stencil. Monday is Labor Day, which means I don't have to go to class. And since it's kind of like the first, or no, this is the second full week of the semester. Since the semester has kind of just begun, no one's actually scheduled anything for Monday either. So, you know what, I'm just going to go up to here. Because this class, which is my Monday class, this is the color for Monday, nothing will be due. I might still want to work on homework for this class, which means on Tuesday, so that's why I'm not extending it that far. Okay, let's drop in some stuff. So Tuesday, I'm going to put a dot. And I'm going to just draw. I guess I don't have to just draw it. I could actually use the darn stencil. If I'm trying to convince myself that I need to buy a new stencil, maybe I should use the one that I own. Okay. So dang. Okay, so that is my 5:30 to 8:15 class. I'm doing this Thursday night, and sometimes I feel like doing a plan with me too early in advance is kind of boring. Only because I don't exactly know what's going to happen. I'm still trying to play around even though I've had this planner for so long, for nearly the entire year, I'm trying to play around with the appointments versus the actual tasks that I have to do. I was lurking in the Reddit for Hobonichi, because there is a subreddit for Hobonichi users, and I saw someone do like a bunch of bubbles around their schedule, and I thought that was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. It was really messy and really lived in looking, and I was thinking that maybe I should branch out and do something like that. Maybe I should. Let's see if I cut it up here. You know what, let's start with my version of branching out like that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna draw a line through my appointments. Okay. So Thursday, I don't have to meet, but I do have a hybrid class. Let's stick a triangle. I forgot the other, like, shape system I was using. I think it meant something different. I think triangles meant something different. Dentist appointments. Then I have work. That is 1 p.m. to 4. Hi. Okay, so I have just committed the most egregious planner error. I have accidentally colored in the wrong colors for my classes. Most egregious to me, especially since this is very early on in this color coding scheme, and I don't necessarily have it all down pat, so it's like one little hitch, that's all it takes. I'm trying to see if I have some extra papers, and I don't think I do. I've blown through those notebooks already, just using them for my A6 journal, because I've ran out of pages for the A6 as well. And in fact, I'm still contemplating the Hobonichi as my journal in 2020. I don't think I'm going to do it. I have these. I got them because I thought they matched the cream color of the paper, and I think they do. I think I'm going to take my least favorite of them, which is this one. It says grow up. I dislike this one very much. And I'm going to cover it up. And I'm using giant scissors because that is what I have. They also need to be like sharpened or something. They used to be my fabric scissors. Now they are my all-purpose scissors, and they suffer. Okay. This one has some tack on it, but I'm gonna overkill and put some glue on it. Also, I'm thinking I want to white out what's underneath. And I know you're saying, well, it's erasable, you should just erase it. The highlighter is not. I did buy a new pack of friction highlighters because I had to buy some physical books for school. There were some options that, some more digital options were not available to me, so there we go. No, keeps lifting. It's my bad. It's the operator, it's not the product. There we go. Okay. No, it's too long. That's okay. I'm usually not this affected by mistakes, but man, this one just cannot bear. Which is silly because I feel like my planner is best when it's messy. Okay, let's put some more thought into the highlighting. It's a Tuesday. That's this color. Wednesday is this color. No, whatever. And then Thursday is this color. I'm gonna let that dry before I go in with pen. So if we're gonna use this section as appointments, maybe I should cut more into this then. Okay. Let's try and do 3 panels. And let's put that here. Nope, I lied. Let's put this here. And since I don't think I'll have any appointments on Monday, we are going to cover that section up. Yes, I like that a lot. Even though it doesn't make sense over there. I feel like I want a thin, dusky sort of washi to go into the gutter. Let's see what I have. Bring 3 options from the other drawers. Let's see. Nope. 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 Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay. Maybe I'll make that one. Whoops. Maybe I'll make that one work. Not this one, I don't think. No. Let's make the rabbits work then. Nope, that doesn't work either. I'm silly. No. Egregious mistake number 2. Let's be more gentle this time. Okay, so now we really gotta find something to drop in the gutter. Let's see. Maybe that'll work. use that to bolster it, and then we'll stick down one of these guys. Don't think the orange goes, but I think the other color. Maybe we'll salvage one of these bunnies. Just like that being yeah, we're just gonna have a bunny. Okay, I think that is it. Stick in the class time. Okay, and there we have it. It's okay. Probably should have left well enough alone. Maybe I should have had that run further up. Maybe I should have stuck. No, I should have made it go further up. I'm going to cut off the harsh edges because I don't think it likes sticking to the metallic. Okay. For some reason that is better to me. I'm sorry for the shakiness of this end part, but I completely forgot to film an outro. Here's how the planner looks with everything in it for the week, including some to-dos in this section. I think this layout will work. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of the week.